us today. I'm taking it from the book Love Answers All. And the inspirational reading, let me see, Love Answers All is a book that is channeled by a group who channel the words of the present Jesus. So we have a set of them here at Teaching of the Antichrist, and this one is Love Answers All. We are one with our Christ selves, for within each is the Christ that is you. Let this Christ be expressed as the true you in all that you do and the words that you say, for this is your true expression. You have to trust in your true feelings. This is the true Christ you expressing. Let the love that God feeds you, that God expresses through you, flow out to others. For it is through the Christ that God expresses God's love for God's children. And it is through the Christ that love flows on. God's love is like water in a mountain stream, gathering force as it flows downward. All right, today's speaker is a leader here, Teaching of the Antichrist. She's a minister. She gives talks and leads. And she is the honcho of TIC Outreach, which is, for example, giving prayer work for people who aren't local, people say in Germany or in New York City. And she gives classes online and prayer groups online. So let's welcome, speaking on the topic, I Share God's Gift of Love, Reverend Mary Ann Kelley. Yay. Thank you. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Yay.
Let's see. I share God's gift of love. I'm doing a study on the Game of Life, the workbook by Kate Large, and she is doing this work. It's based on Florence Scovel Shinn's prosperity classic called The Game of Life. And her premise is, our mission in life is to shift our energy from the illusion of fear to the Christ consciousness of love, to create our vision of heaven as our reality. That's a beautiful thing. That's a wonderful thing. Now, her hypothesis is that we are either motivated by fear or by love. And so if we want to be able to share God's gift of love, we want to release our place of fear, or in our thoughts of fear, and raise our vibrations to the level of spirit, which is the level of love. And how can we possibly do that when we look at the news today and, oh my gosh, it's hard. It's hard sometimes to get away from the place of fear. But remembering, what is the place of fear? It's a place where we've been conditioned to be. Don't touch that. You're going to burn yourself. That might break. Don't touch that. Don't play in the street. All kinds of things like that. We're conditioned from the time we're a little child. And so, how do we get past that? By going inside. There is that within us, within each of us. that we know is a place of peace, place of love, place of grace. And that's what we're about. It is a place where we know ourselves to be one with the divine, with our higher self. Where we know the real truth, where we can be the love that we are. So, fear is a race mind conscious concept. It's how we have been taught. What we've been told is the truth. But we know when we take a rock or a boulder that's very heavy, that we can't move unless we have equipment to help. But if we were to take that rock and take it into outer space to a certain level, it would have no weight. It would be nothing. That's what fear is. It's a place that really has no value. But what we focus on, what we know we focus on, if you have ever seen a child focus on something that they wanted, their focus is so intense that we can't refuse them. They're gonna get what they want because they focused. And we're told by Jesus himself, Jesus the Christ himself, to be as little children in our faith. Those kids just know they're gonna get what they want. And they do. They do. Maybe not as quickly as they want, but when they wear us down, they'll get it. So, when we are connected with our inner spirit, our higher self, we can feel like that oneness. We can feel that oneness. We go inside. There's no place else we're gonna find it. It's not out there. Because out there is a scary place. But within is where the peace is. And that's where the love resides. And when we have this feeling of this higher nature that is ourself, we lift ourselves from all of this chaos that's going on in our world today. Where we can feel that place of joy, of loving our own self, our own Christ self, our own inner self. When we can feel the love of that circulating back to us. We know the law of circulation is what we put out is what we get back. Yeah. As we reap, so shall we sow. Yeah, we have that too. So, this is the truth of the matter. We cannot possibly outgive God. There's no way. Truth of the matter. What so? And God will give to us what it is we focus on. The inner Christ creates that. The subconscious mind creates what it is we project into it that we want. So if you want to know what's going on in your subconscious mind, and most of us don't have a clue, but if you'll take a look at what you're experiencing out here, that's what's gone on in your subconscious mind. So if you want to change that, how do we do that? By changing our mind about the situation. If we can't change our mind about the situation, we can at least focus on something else. And what is it we want to experience? And to share. That is God's love. Love is truly the only power, as Andalamo's song tells us. Love is the only power. What do we mean? Isn't it much better? Isn't it a much better road to travel? The road of love, and sharing that love, and emitting that love from our being. You know, when you meet people for the first time, you get a sense of that person. And if that person is a person of love, it comes through loud and clear. Sometimes we're not sure. But when there is a person of love, there's no doubt. Because it is the strongest of emotions. truly, it is the strongest of emotions. Even though something else, fear, may feel strong, it's no match for love. So, I like the song this morning. I love myself the way I am. I love you just as you are. I love the world. And I love myself the way I am. And still, I want to grow. How much better does it get than that? That song is just perfect. I like to sing that to myself in the morning. I think singing it in front of the mirror the first thing in the morning is a good idea. I'm gonna do that, because I love that song.
Good idea.
Can you think of some ways that you can share God's love with your neighbor? If you ever drive through Starbucks for a cup of coffee, have you ever thought of paying for the car behind you's order?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because it's already been put in. All you have to do is ask, what was their order and how much is it? Take it off my card too. Because we all have those little Starbucks cards.
Right.
We get those little gift certificates. And isn't that wonderful? And you can go in there and you can get something to eat, or you can get some coffee. But, so, how about doing that and then driving off? Because it's anonymous, and they won't know until they drive up.
That's cool.
So, how about that? Or how about getting one of those gift cards? Passing it out to a stranger? How about something like that? Or how about amassing a bunch of socks and coats and underwear and soap, things like that, and taking them down to, one of the shelters, homeless shelters, or a nursing home, or a hospital, or something like that, or going into a nursing home and sharing of your talents. I have a friend who was in one of those, and every once in a while someone would come in. My mother and father were in one, and I went to visit them. And there was a man who came in with his guitar, sang for them, and another lady came in and she did poetry for them, and they were enthralled. It made their day, maybe even made their week, because they came in on a regular basis. We don't have to do that. Maybe we can go in once a month or something like that. That's sharing God's gift of love. How about, does anybody here use the laundromat?
Use the what?
Laundromat? Anybody go to the laundromat?
I have.
How about taking a roll of quarters and leaving them there?
A load of what?
A roll of
Quarters.
quarters
Yeah.
and leaving them there.
Gotta feed the machines.
Or how about buying a little box of soap? They have those little boxes of soap and little dryer sheets. How about buying some of those, putting them in a corner somewhere, putting a little note on it saying, this is for the person who finds it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your wash. Or something like that. That is showing our love in a way that, it's not going to be returned, but it doesn't, but it does. Because what we put out comes back. Not necessarily by the same person, but it does come back. Mhm. How about just volunteering your time and your talent, or how about volunteering some time at the food bank and helping to feed people who need it? How about that? Can you think of anything more? What else do you do? Do you have something that you do, that you share yourself with? Well, how about praying for peace? Especially in the area right now that really needs it. Really needs it. And also praying for love. And praying for the person who might perpetrate something other than peace. That person really needs a lot of love. Because in the final analysis, it's not money we're looking for. It's not power we're looking for. It's love. It is love. It is regard. It is a feeling that we can give. How about using our God-given talent for visualizing the light permeating each and every part of our globe, each and every part of our world. That light, and fill it with love, and send it out. Send it out to our neighbors, to our city, to our state, to our country, to our continent, to our whole world. Get a picture of a world. And they're easily gotten online. Get the one that's looks like a halo around it. And picture our world just permeated with this halo. This beautiful healing light of truth. This healing light of love. For that's what it's going to take. In this workbook, The Game of Life, on page 128, you'll find an order blank. Would our usher please pass that out to the people here in our room? It's an order, it's a universal supply warehouse order form. And what we're gonna do, I filled out the first line. What I'm ordering up is God's gift of love. And I'm sending it out to everybody. And the price of this is to embrace the joy-filled energy of having received what it is, when there is no sign of it in sight. When there's no sign of it, just embracing a joy-filled energy of having it. And be as a child here. Remember, Santa Claus is coming. And you're gonna get what you want. And the shipping and handling is under grace in a wonderful way. And the delivery date is at the perfect right time. And this is ordered by me on this date. So this is what you can do. That's something you can go out and do. So we can order it, and actually, you can order anything you want from that. So don't be, just don't be limited. So God's gift of love. How about God's gift of peace? Because God will say yes to anything we ask, provided we focus on that thing, that love, that peace, whatever it is. So what will you order for your neighbors today? I like Louise Hay's statement about love. She said, "Love is a miracle cure. Loving myself makes miracles in my life. And so loving myself and sharing that love with others opens them up to having their miracles as well. So why not share those miracles of love?" And I would add, and that makes more of God's love for me to share. So, what really matters, I found this on the internet. This world is a scary place sometimes. Suddenly it doesn't seem like such a big deal if my kid wants to climb into my bed at night. I appreciate the extra snuggles. Yeah. It doesn't seem like such a big deal if they want to use the pink plate. It's not worth a fight. Let them use the pink plate. It doesn't seem like such a big deal if they want to be carried and cuddled all day. Every second should be cherished. It doesn't seem like such a big deal if they beg for a bath and not a shower. They're still going to be clean. Or the extra attention they sometimes act out for. They have needs to be met too, Or an extra book, or an extra hug, or an extra I love you, or the extra memories we'll make on our journey throughout this life. This world can be a scary place if that's our focus. It's a reminder that we can change it in a blink of an eye, because we're never promised another day, but we can change it. So if we go and we hug our family and our friends a little tighter, a little longer, and maybe a lot more frequently, that miracle can happen. That miracle of love. Yes, it can. And I found a little something. This has been a little heavy this time, but I found a little something else on the net that I thought was kind of cool. This is just to lighten it up a little bit. A new supermarket opened near my house. It has an automatic water mister to keep the produce fresh. And just before it goes on, you hear the sound of distant thunder and lightning and the fresh smell of rain. Do you have that? Go into Sprouts, you'll find it there. When you approach the milk case, you hear a cow mooing and experience a fresh smell of hay. When you approach the egg case, you'll hear hens clucking and cackling, and the air is filled with a pleasant aroma of bacon and eggs frying. Yeah. And the veggie department features the smell of fresh buttered corn. I don't buy toilet paper there anymore. Thank you for listening. Come again next week, we'll see. That's how it is. Thank you, God. Love myself the way I am. There's nothing to reach. All yours.